Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
Dot, dot, dot. Well, I'm excited to be back, but any rules you want to lay down, Jack, before we start? Because you was putting belt to ass last week.
No, didn't he?
Just don't pull a Christian. Try to keep your pants clean this episode.
Well, all right. I, Captain. Listen, the baby boys are back reporting for duty, covering Survivor season 50, episode 2. And listen, we off to a great start for a great season. Let's welcome back to the podcast, the first merge boot of Winners at War, Wendell Holland.
We back, baby. Let's do this. And since we don't have any rules, we gotta talk about last night. But I'll let you introduce Jack.
Okay, well, listen. Let's also welcome back to the podcast the man that I am tired of people approaching me at Brice and Win events talking about. I submitted my traders video. Shout out to Exterminator, because Exterminator pulled right up on me. He said, "Hey, Brice, I thought Jack is your man. Tell him to look at the tape." I said, "Listen, I don't know what I could do, but I'll see what I could do." Let's welcome back to the podcast from The Floor is Lava and Circle, Netflix season 2, and the man is currently casting the traitors, Jack Atkins.
What's up? Let's go.
Oh,
I'm awkward today. I don't know what's wrong. But...
yeah, Jack. Well, listen, we got a great episode, and listen, shout out to everyone that watched last week's episode. It was a wet one, but we got through it. Shout out to all of the new listeners that haven't been back in a while. Some new people, we appreciate you. This is Survivor News, where the baby boys, we get down and dirty about Survivor. And Survivor 50 has been delivering. I'll go on record again and say this episode, but this episode was bop, 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 bop. Okay, they was hit him with the right hook, bop, hit him with the left foot, bop, hit him with the right, bop, bop, bop. Okay, I was all over the place, Jack. Okay, but listen, before we get into Survivor News, we have some housekeeping that we just need to do, because if you didn't know, now you know the baby boys are on the road to 50. Wendell and I are watching every episode with you in the hands of the fans. We were in Philadelphia last night. Shout out to our Philly crew. Next week, we will be in OKC. Tickets are available. Aussie is on tour as well. Aussie was in Boston last night, and Boston showed on out for the baby boy, and Aussie will be in Chicago next week. So Oklahoma and Chicago, batter up, because we're coming your way. Tickets are available. Click the link in the Brice and Win Present Instagram or Twitter or our personal Instagrams. And listen, we on the road to 50, baby. The road to 50.
We are on the road of 50. We are in 50. We are on the road. This is 50. We are here.
We were in Philadelphia last night, so we're going to Oklahoma next city. So we are on the road to 50. Okay.
Sure, Brice.
Use your glutinous hymen.
I sure will. Now, Brice, you mentioned that when we are at our events, people ask about Jack and the traders, but in Philly, they were like, when are we getting a Jack appearance in Philly?
And I explained to them, Jack's been to Philly, okay? Really? Jack pulled up to Philly, and despite Quintavious saying I don't drive, I feel like I picked Jack up a couple of times from his hotel, and we was zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm in my mom's car, okay, all around Philly.
Yeah, I've popped out to Philly before. I think I know I was there during 43 for James Jones.
Oh,
I think
that's damn near old school.
Yeah, that was back in 06.
Were you on the football at that point?
What's up?
Were you even on the circle by then?
Yeah.
Circle.
Circle was before any of the new era, which is crazy.
Wow.
I'm old school, man.
I'm screaming. Well, listen, Jack and Wendell, keep all in it. Okay. Hold on.
I said, I'm screaming.
Listen, Jack and Wendell. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. Okay. Okay. Keep all that small talk to yourselves. If you want the recap of Brice and Wend, you can check out the BWP Patreon. We'll cover all of this. But listen, here now today, we talking Survivor 50. Jack Atkins. Oh, well, I do have one last thing, Jack. Somebody last night, he wanted me to let you know that he is a white man. He's a bit older than you, but he said, "What's up with the music? Y'all ain't been testing Jack." He said, he said, "We do it for the culture." So they was just wondering. He said, "We know Jack was laying belt to ass last week, but did he put the music on the docket too?" I said, "It will return."
Come on, man. One of my own people put me under the bus. That's just how he's also learning these songs. He's like, "You guys got to quiz Jack more because I like the stuff you guys be singing."
Yes.
Which one of our patrons? Shout out to the Brice and Wend Patreon. Which one of our patrons said they like our banter at the? I think it was Gina, maybe.
It might have been Gina. It could have been Eliza. It could have been Declan. So who knows? But listen, if y'all like it.
Yeah, I think most people like the banter. It was just last week. I was like, boom, new season. We might have a new audience here. They might want to just get in the meat and potatoes of the premiere, but I'm all for the banter. I mean,
listen, well, guess what? I'm putting belts at this week. Okay, head to the Brice and Wend Patreon. We'll break it all down, and you get exclusive and free access to some Brice and Wend events. So listen, Brice and Wend Patreon. But listen, Jack, let's get into the episode because I got a lot to talk about. Oh, okay, Jack, you want to kick it off to me? Well, listen, we kicked it off as Kyle departed, and we see Genevieve really upset. We see Quintavious really upset. We see Quintavious is like, "Kyle was speaking to me. Kyle said, Quintavious, go out there and win it." And I really made me see, I was like, wow, Quintavious is really locking in this season. We haven't really talked last episode. We didn't really talk about how much Q was kind of like reined in the Q. And he's really playing this, from what we see now, like a very scaled back game of his. And I love to see it. But there was one thing that I felt like I just had to talk about. We know, Jack, after last week we recorded our episode, we know that Dalton Ross talked about in Kyle's exit interview that like Kyle didn't just hurt himself going up that wall. Right? Like Kobe could not get up the wall. So Kyle jumped down to help Kobe up. And then Kyle went up and hurt himself. And so, okay, sure, CBS, y'all didn't tell us that story last week. But when we get this opening montage of Genevieve being so upset that Kyle's gone, Quintavious so upset that Kyle's gone. I mean, y'all couldn't show a clip of Kobe saying nothing?
Was Colby not upset? I mean, I thought he was upset.
I mean, I just felt like since we didn't get that story, I just thought maybe y'all could just, okay, y'all ain't feeling it. Okay, well, okay. Now, my other thing to that I wanted to bring up that I thought was interesting was, so now the alliance of 5 is now down to 4. It's Genevieve, it's Jenna, it's Kobe, and it's Q.
It's not Jenna.
Oh, yeah, and Genevieve.
Well, you said Genevieve and Jenna.
Genevieve, Stephanie, yeah. Kobe, and Q. Now they looking for a 4th person, and they bring in Rizzo, which is great. And again, I love Rizzo. Rizzo's like, man, I came in too hot at the beginning. But I'm wearing them down.
Look at me.
They're trusting me. I love it. And I'm like, if I'm Rizzo, I'm thinking, well, my, how convenient this is that y'all want to rope me in now that you're out of, that Kyle's gone. But I love the way that Rizzo kind of attacks it in the sense of like, he doesn't even we don't even hear him talking about that. We just hear him like, hey, I'm in the know and I've risen to the top. And one thing Riz going to do, Riz is going to Riz himself up. Okay. Riz went from on the outskirts and now at Rizzo's confessional, he running the alliance. He's at the top. So, but I love it because he potentially could really flip it. You don't know, but I like the way Rizzo is ingratiating himself, even after I felt like they waited till an Achilles was healed to bring him in. So interesting. What's y'all take on that?
I thought it was interesting to hear the Rizzo spin on it. Cause like y'all are down a man, y'all scooped him up. From his perspective, it's I wore him down and now I'm in here.
You also flashed me back to I forgot about the scene of him. He's like, I gotta go disinfect this, and then he's on the rocks walking like
okay.
Gotta make sure you keep the wound isolated.
Yeah, yes. Rizzo ain't playing no games.
He's funny, man.
But
Q would told me like, he's got to come back and help us out. He's just shooting the shit with Angelina and Aubrey.
Q was so upset. Q was like, "Yo, I'm doing all of this stuff. Angelina's out here looking like furniture. What is it? A statue?"
A statue. Mind you, it's like what do they call the online games? ORGs. It's like, can somebody remind Rizzo that you're not playing an ORG? Like, you're actually playing the game. Rizzo's like, miss me with this camp stuff. I just want to go online and vote. But I love to see the dichotomy of the old school and the new school, where the new school is like, camp. Rizzo's like, I slept in the boat. And, you see these older players like, Kobe being the Jack Atkins running a strict schedule. Every time you go out, you should be getting wood. Every time, and it's like, it's interesting to see how that all will come to a head. I feel like it's a common theme that I'm seeing a lot, but I will save that and hear what y'all got to say.
I think it depends on, it is an old school, new school thing. Generally speaking, you got a lot of the new schoolers that are just like, all right, it's 26 days. I'm comfortable sleeping in the sand, whatever. It's fine. You get the old school players that are like, nah, I want to take pride in where I'm laying. I'm going to do something. I'm going to be a little more comfortable. But you get the new school players like Q that's like, no, I'm a hard worker and this is what we're doing around here. So it's cool to see the various types. But the old schoolers are definitely like, nah, we working.
Do you feel like there's I've never played Survivor, but do you feel like there's a component of, because look, I sort of get where the new schoolers are coming from, but even if you don't want to put in work at camp, I mean, both of y'all having played, isn't there an element of, I feel like I'd just be so bored, I'd be like, all right, let me go grab some sticks or something. Like, sitting at camp all day, like, let me just go build a shelter or help out in some way.
Listen, Jack. Okay, you might get bored out there, but with the heat, the lack of food, the lack of water, again, if you have it in you, you'll want to do it. But if you just want to be a hump on the log, bang, it'll be a hump on the log. And it reminds me of what you were saying last week, Jack, where because the tribes are so much bigger, normally in the smaller tribes, you'd have one person that wouldn't do anything, and a lot of the people would yell at them. But here we have a cluster of people, and that intrigues me because it's like, as hard as Q and Kobe might be on a Rizzo, they better watch out because Rizzo and Statue Angelina and who else is on there? Aubrey, like baby. The lazy bazies, they might be able to do something. So it's like not as cut and dry where it's like you form this culture of working and everyone works. Well, now you have a fraction of the tribe that's like not really working. It reminds me of like Bruce, reminds me of like Roxroy. Do you remember like that kind of where they were very heavy on build the tribe, be strong? Yes, but also if I want to chill, I want to chill. You gonna do it anyway. So what's the point?
I agree. It's like you said, the bigger tribes, you got a few people that are being lazy. So, if they talk to each other, they might be able to make a move.
Can I ask y'all a question? Jack? Is that a yes or no?
Shoot.
Wendeezy? I need a yes or no answer.
For me? Yeah.
No, tell him to answer the question.
You could tell by the lean forward that we're intrigued by the.
We're here. We're set.
Another question.
Okay, I need everybody to put their right hand up and say, I solemnly swear to answer this question.
What are you about to ask us?
Jack?
I solemnly swear to answer this question.
Wendell?
I solemnly swear to answer this question.
Okay, Posse, we are now in the Survivor News Court of Law. We can hold either of these podcasters in contempt. Okay,
I feel like I know what you're about to ask.
You have officially been sworn in. Have you two ever
shit yourself?
No. I want to know. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night? You felt a little rumble tumble. And you said, let me just let this gas out. And it wasn't a gas. It happened to be a Snickers in your pants. Yes or no? I will answer it. Yes.
In the middle of the night?
Or when you first wake up and you want to do a little easy bake Dutch oven.
Oh, this is wild.
And you guys are sworn under the posse oath.
No.
Okay. So now you're just lying, Wendell.
I never put myself in the middle of the night.
Have you ever sharted yourself?
It's happened one time before, maybe twice.
Not in bed. Like I never wake up and shart myself. Start the day off right. But I feel like there's like Wendell said, every once or twice you might be in a bad situation. But if I'm at home, I'm not sharting myself.
At home, you're not sharting yourself.
The thing about a shart is you don't know it's going to be a shh. You think it's a fart. That's why it's a shart.
Brice, did I tell you where it happened to me?
Where?
On the flight to Fiji.
No way. For Ghost Island?
And that's all I'm saying.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now
what?
You are under oath. Now let me ask you this. Now, was it one of the sharks where it feels a little more messier than it is, or is it one of the sharks that pierced the
No, it didn't pierce the veil. It was not one of those crazy ones. Okay. But
there's a difference. Okay?
I'm on the 10-hour flight to Fiji, and I don't know what I'm about. I don't know we have like a pregame or anything. I'm like, yo, I'm about to start this game soiled. I didn't know about the pregame week. So that's where we were.
You know about the you just thought they were gonna just drop you off on that.
I just didn't know what I didn't know what I had to be ready for.
Jack.
Wait, so you thought on the plane, you thought you were like, damn, these are the clothes I gotta wear?
They were good.
You thought on the plane to Fiji, everybody on there was production.
Pilot plane?
Is that Terry Deeds? You just get off and Jeff is there.
The stewardess comes by, she's like, can I get you anything to drink? And Wendell's like, we good, right? On the island, I got you.
We get chicken and bread. I thought it'd be rice.
Guys,
You just wait a minute. You thought you just got on this plane.
When's tribal?
Oh my God. Wait, he said next to her. Are you on my tribe?
You should have been making those alliances because I was out there for a while. Okay.
Oh my God, I've never heard that.
Dang, this guy suddenly smells a little bit weird. I don't know if I want to work with him anymore.
I'd be like, you smell that too?
Wow. Christian Hubicki is the gift that keeps on giving, because it's not the fact that he shot himself, because clearly it happens to everyone. It is the fact that we witnessed this. We witnessed the bubbles in the stomach. We witnessed Christian try to leave a silent but deadly one, and instead he got a wet and messy one. The only thing I want to know is, why was Christian walking up and down the beach? Christian, just jump right in the ocean.
Well, he's probably looking for a little privacy.
He said to the cameraman, he broke the fourth wall. You do not want to follow me. You do not want to follow me. The camera was like,
it's just, I thought Stephen Fishback had the gastrointestinal distress on lock, but now we know Christian Hubicki Sharts that beyond. Another interesting take was when we got to the immunity challenge, the reward challenge, which I thought was so great. And they instantly learned that Kyle was taken out the game, and Camilla was physically upset. She's shaking, and she's like, it's not even about like him getting voted out is one thing, but it's early in the season. You're to hurt yourself to the point that you can't even be in the game. It's just, it breaks your heart. And everyone is talking about it. And Benjamin, Coach Wade uses this opportunity, because we saw at the journey where it was Mike White, and who else was at that journey? Where was it? Rick Devens,
Colby and Savannah,
and where they asked about what happened. And so they were able to get the stories of what Aussie and Coach said, and I guess Q said. And so it wasn't what Coach had said. So one can only assume that word got back to Coach. And Coach, at this time that we are essentially eulogizing Kyle's game, felt like this was an appropriate time for him to set the record straight.
He said, and the thing is, Brice, he could have just not said anything, and it could have just been a little thing. But he said, what did he say? I'm trying to play this game with honor and integrity. Ozzy was like, yo, I mean, I don't think that you would have even gotten it if I didn't get it off. Coach is calling this man all the way out on the mat before a challenge.
He's like, I'm playing with honor and integrity. And Coach and Ozzy's like, I guess it's starting now. Okay. And then Coach hit us with today's adversary is tomorrow's enemy. That's yesterday's adversary. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jackery, because you went to the University of Chicago. When DZ, you are a graduate of the University of Penn. Adversary and enemy, is that not the same thing? Is that like are those synonyms?
Yeah. Is that what Coach said? I missed that part.
Said, yes. Yesterday's enemy is today's adversary. Is today's adversary. Today's adversary is tomorrow's enemy.
Sometimes Coach just says things
with a straight face. We're just supposed to receive that.
And again, he's setting the tone, and it just reminds us of, if anyone was questioning why Benjamin Coach Wade is back, this is why. Okay,
I'm the same old coach.
Played for 101 days. I was like, yeah, you are the same old coach.
Okay. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still from
Coach
the
from the
block.
block.
I used to have a little, now I have a lot. Wherever I go,
Southside, the Bronx.
used to have a little, now I have a lot. I'm still coach from the block.
Jack.
I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea.
Don't be fooled by the dragons that I got.
I'm still okay. Well, we'll keep the same artist.
I mean, that just sounds like
My love
elementary
don't
school
cost
nursery rhyme.
nothing. If you want to keep me, I shoot on. If you want to spend your cash, I won't. Even if you were broke, my love don't cost a. When you rolled up in the Escalade, saw that W gave to the valet, knew that it was game when you looked at me, rolling up your sleeve so I could see the rolly bling. Saw you later in a corner booth, raising up a toast, so I would notice you. Knew your heart's a mess. Now, balling out of control. All that matters is that you treat me right. Give me all the things I need that money can't buy. Yeah. If you want to keep me, I shoot on. If you want to spend your cash, I won't. Even if you were broke, my love don't cost a thing.
He lost me for a moment, Jack. I didn't know what was happening, but then he caught
Me too.
Well, this
Hey, like
is
a multiple choice.
yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Jack, put your hands up because put
Our
your
hands
hands
up.
I'm looking
up.
right at the camera.
I got it. A. J-Lo. B. Ashanti. C. Aaliyah. D.
Oh, give it to
Mary
me.
J. Blige.
Okay, I don't think it's Mary J. I'm just the only info I have here to make an educated guess off of is I think you said something about the Bronx, and I know one of these people I believe is from the Bronx.
Two people.
Ham and cheese sandwich with an orange drink. And you know. So my guess is gonna be J-Lo.
Now listen.
Zachary!
If you know, you know. Okay. And
Ham and cheese with an orange drink.
And nobody ordered that for the bodega. But listen,
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
and J-Lo's a bit questionable because a lot of people, you know, she uses, I mean, technically you could have said Ashanti too, because those are Ashanti's ad-libs on the song. But we know J-Lo doesn't really sing all the time. But listen, say whatever you want about J-Lo. J-Lo got hits. But
Brice, I feel like you did kind of do a good job at a certain point of you sort of sounded like her, where I was like, this does sound familiar. And I mean that in a good way. Like you captured the.
Thank you, Jack.
That was probably the best. Like it like brought me. It's like
okay.
Pulled out like a distant memory of like hearing that song maybe one time.
What's her song with Ja Rule? I'm Real. How's that go?
I'm real.
No, that's I'm Sprung.
No, it's I'm real.
Oh
my God. She has multiple songs with Ja Rule.
I'm sprung. To get me. Got me doing things I never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you do. You do.
Oh, what accent is that?
I can't say. She got me doing.
Yeah,
Now
Okay,
I'm and I got to. Brice, you know that one?
Yeah, I know I'm sprung.
Bye.
Listen, T-Pain.
Okay,
Jack, don't play with me. Okay, listen.
Flip around.
So back.
Yo, where were we?
We took a tangent.
Coach.
I'm
cramping up.
Oh my God.
Bro, the music that they had when Jonathan invited him to the ocean. And I'm like, oh, they're about to have a moment.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, when you get just out there, it drops off and it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Coach put on those flippers so quick. He's like, take me out there.
I'd love to check that out, Jonathan.
And Baby, they got out there. Now, here's the thing. Here's my hypothesis. I think it took a bit much of Coach to get out there. And I think when he got out there, he realized, like, I don't have enough in me to get back. Because I've never seen somebody with a double cramp in their. You ever wake up in the middle of the night with a Charlie horse? You know that, like, you move your leg, then you yank it back because you don't want to move. Like, there's no
what
way.
What is happening to you in the middle of the night, Brice? You got Charlie horse, you're shitting yourself. Brice is gonna wake up like Coach was in the water, just oh.
But
Jonathan, save me.
Now listen, I feel a double cramp coming on now, but then because he was just laying so peacefully, and so like I've never seen somebody with a double cramp, and then they literally Ubered him back to the island, and then he starts walking. He just is limping, and everybody is like, "What is going on here?"
My big thing was, I think Coach said, like, I could have died.
He did.
And so now that has me questioning, like, when Coach was in the Amazon and said he almost died, it's like, did he just get a double cramp at the spa or something? Like, what really happened?
And he says to us, he's in his 50s, right? And like, he has to conserve his energy. And then it's like, we have the younger people on the tribe, like Charlie, D, and they're all like, we got these old people on our tribe. Like, we gotta really watch out for them. And then Jack, the people was on Twitter with that comment, and they was calling D out. They said, how are you calling people on your tribe? Oh, well, you was just making out with a guy in his 40s months prior. And I said, ooh. And then I get into the comments, and I guess they're talking about Johnny Bananas on the challenge. And then I dig a little deeper. Somebody said, well, Wendell's hot. I said, because I mean, listen, I thought they was talking about Wendell too, because Wendell and Coach is around the same age.
I don't go on Twitter. I don't engage, and I don't know what you're talking about.
That's wild. I was funny with Chrissy too. We got the montage of Charlie talking about Chrissy and being like, she's kind of rubbing people the wrong way, and they threw on like the goofy music, and she's like, hey, does anyone want to help with the fire? It's like,
I'll do it. If you that's the one, I'll do it.
I was like, no, I get Chrissy. I mean, even in episode 1, we saw her come on a little strong, but I was like, the best montage you got is her being like massaging Coach and then being like, we should try to get more firewood. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Like,
Coach ain't going to be able to do anything. And it's interesting because follow me, because why I'm obsessed with this season of Survivor. Not only is it good, but I love these like common threads that they are weaving in between tribes. Because then on the other tribe, we see there's dissension with Joe. And Joe is like, I mean, I'm jumping all over the place. So Jack, Wendell, if you feel like I'm going all over the place, let me know. But again, we have Joe here, and Joe is playing honor and integrity. And I'm not necessarily so mad at that. But we see that it's making everyone else around him uncomfortable. And we can kind of like get into that as we go throughout the episode. But I think it's interesting what I feel like the editors are showing us, like with Coach, right? And we see like Charlie and D and them saying like, okay, it's kind of like the older people versus us younger people. And then we have like on Q's tribe with Rizzo and Angelina, where it's like these people that are like the hard workers. And then you have like the quote unquote lazy people. And then we have on this other tribe, with Joe, we kind of sort of have like this honor and integrity. And then we have it's Survivor, I can lie. And so I love that on each tribes, we see like this subtle fraction. In my opinion, it's really kind of like the old school way of Survivor and like the new school way. And so it's interesting just to see how it's not a big deal, but we do see these fractions. And I do know with the tribe swap coming up, for me, I'm extra paying attention to like who's linking up with who's linking up with who. And at some point, I do feel like it will come to a head of like honor, integrity, older school players, and it will come down to like the Gen Zs, the like, hey, let's chill, let's play, like in the younger people. So again, like I really like this, just what I feel like I'm getting from it is I really like seeing this web that Survivor is drawing, and especially with season 50. It's something that I find interesting. Any of you two pick up on that?
Agree.
You see the common trends across the tribes. Yes, you do. It's an old school way of playing and a new school way of playing, and it's cool to see. And when we jumble these tribes up, it's going to be cool to see who works with each other. You see some people crossing these old school, new school lines, and it's going to be interesting to see who's still like, I'm old school. We got to take care of this camp. I'm new school. I'm going to chill and watch y'all.
Yeah.
And there's pros and cons to each. Just because I'm chilling by the fire doesn't mean I'm not locked in and playing the game. And
you could be playing more game if you're not.
Right.
All that building.
And just because like you're out getting firewood doesn't mean you're dialed in. And so like it just offers this kind of like question as to like, how do you play the game? Or, and I always feel like you just don't ruffle the feathers. Like even if you want to work hard and you see you have the majority of your people kind of chilling, I think you might lean into working hard, but you don't make it a thing where you don't make it like I'm the only one working, because then it's like that's giving them a reason to look at you and be like, okay, we got to get them out because we just want to kick it and like you doing too much. And again, like we see that with even Chrissy, where they are kind of using that as a thing to pin on Chrissy, where it's like, okay, you're doing a lot. And even Charlie's like, my bread and butter is me working with middle-aged women. And Charlie's like, I gotta play a new game. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like seeing, it's kind of like what we said about last week about the combination of like playing your original game versus playing a new game. And the people that can find the sweet spot for that usually do well. I feel like here it's sometimes the people that are doing the crossover of, okay, maybe it's like a Q and a Genevieve who are new school, but they're helping out and adopting those old school values. So now they're cool with a Riz, but they're also cool with Colby and Stephanie. And yeah, I just think it's the people that can embrace both sides of those things. It's also interesting with those old school values, like you guys just talked about, where I think that the default mentality for a lot of people is like, working hard around camp is good. Like if this is the move that if it's like, if I take this stance and tell people like, we got to work hard, then I am in the right, which generally, yes. But at the same time, you just got to feel out the vibe of your tribe. Like if people, like you said, Brice, if not everybody wants to work hard, don't be the one who's like, we gotta do more. Cause like morally, sure, maybe they should be, but like, it's not a hill to die on necessarily.
Read the room. That's it. Yeah. Read the room.
And for me, it's like Survivor, they say, is a microcosm of society today. And I feel like 50 is that, where it's like you have the millennials and then you have like the Gen Zs like you, Jack, where it's like the old school boomer, like thinking, go to school, get an education, get a job, work for 50 years, you'll get a pension. Like that's what they did and it worked for them. The millennials and the Gen Zs, we're the new generation that's like, now, hey, wait a minute. I went to school. I got all the student loan. I'm working. I barely can afford to live in a shoebox and get food. And so it's like, maybe the way that you are telling me is the right way. It don't work in this world today. And so it's like, the way I'm looking at 50 is like, this is going to be the deciding factor as to like, do I pay my bills? Does Sally Mae get what she wants from me? Or do I just be a hard worker and work? And so again, it really is like a microcosm of somewhat of what's going on today. I mean, it's a lot more going on, but
I mean, some of the millennials and Gen Zers out there, they might be like, I can't afford vacation. This is my first time to chill. I gotta kick back a little bit. Yeah, can we talk about the Sela tribe, the Orange tribe that ultimately ended up going to tribal council? I mean, first and foremost, I feel like we should have said more up top in the episode. Christian Hubicki with an American treasure, national treasure, all-time awesome episode for Christian, from the pants incident to the Joe conversations in the hammock, where you had that shot of him peering through the hammock, also him rocking Joe. He finds an idol. He fake falls at tribal council. He tells Aussie, we got to look at the parallax. And Aussie's like, yeah. And I feel like there's other moments that it was just chock full of like hilarious, like all-time moments. I mean, Christian, this is why I was so excited to see Christian return, because he's been fantastic. I mean,
he did his Christian thing yesterday, and he's so great to just listen to do things. I found myself looking at the Florida State robotics video of him earlier today, because he's just talking about what they do in the robotics and that he's going to be on Survivor, and you should watch him. Like literally in a robotics lab with a student in the back on his headphones, and Christian's just there doing his Christian talk. He's so fun to watch, and he's so smart. I think he's doing a lot more. I think he's got a lot more plans up here and plans in action than we actually see as well. And I think him being with Rick Devens is like, man, now you got someone that takes these plans and puts them in motion and can do really creative things with idols. That's a scary duo.
Yeah, and Christian isn't running a dictatorship. Like, we see Serene pitching things, and he's listening. He's agreeing. Like, we see him with Emily. We see him with Joe. Christian is, dare I say, Christian is the Kyle of the other tribe. Like, Christian is the absolute nucleus. The only thing that scares me for Christian is when you do run a program, a robotics program like you are currently running right now, at some point in time, you got to pick a side. You got to kind of like, and we know you're locked in with Devens and Emily, but also you're talking to Serene, you're talking to Aussie. You got like a lot of different things going on. But again, I love to see Christian in control of the game, because it's like Christian he's in control of the game, but he's not trying to control the game. And that's the difference. And it's like, you hear people talking about that, but like, this is a prime example. And I love it. It's great. Now, if we could stay on this tribe, I love to get into the Rick Devens and the Joe of it all, because let me just tell you this. Okay. First of all, because Spicy Bricey was back. I appreciate y'all in the comments. Okay. Q Jax, I saw that comment. I'm back.
Yup.
Here's my take. And I'll be honest. And listen, Rick Devens, that's my cousin Ricky. Okay. His wife Becca, his children, last 5 years, they send me Christmas cards. We send Christmas cards. They said, look, I love them. I think I forgot. I think I forgot how.
I'm not prepared for the spice.
Because I'm gonna be real. I love. Okay.
Without me. Don't get spicy without me.
Because y'all want my honest take. I'm gonna give y'all my honest take. And cousin Ricky is my friend.
Don't get too spicy.
Right, I actually think we're about to have a similar take, so I'm excited to hear.
Wendell is such type A. Okay, why would you have to clean them off before you put them on? Anyway, okay, listen, cousin Ricky, I love you, but watching you this episode, I had flashbacks of David versus Goliath, and again, in my heart, in my memory, I'm like, Rick Devens was robbed. Like and I think watching this episode, I realized that maybe two things could be true. Okay. Rick Devens was robbed, but Rick Devens was also a part of the problem. And so that's just what reminded me. This is what I love about Rick Devens, right? Like, I don't necessarily like agree with the way Rick Devens is playing. Like, I'm like, hey, clean it up a little bit. Hey, clean it up. But this is what I will say. Balls to the wall, Ricky. Like, I like as crazy and chaotic. And I'm like, what are you doing? I love it because it's like, I feel like when you come back and after a season that Ricky has had, some people try to like calculate, recalibrate and like, all right, let me do something different. Let me do this and that. Bitch, we was talking about 1.0 and 2.0 and 3.0. Bitch, this is Rick Devens 1.0 with a battery backpack. Rick Devens said, I'm going to play how I played last time, but I'm going to stand in it and I'm going to move forward. And although I do think it's it's problematic, cousin Ricky, I love to watch it. I love to, because seeing him, like, first of all, and I know I'm trying not to talk y'all, but again, I'm just so excited for the season. Seeing him talk to Joe. Now, mind you, I'm like, Ricky, you wrong. Joe, I'm with Joe. But baby, when Rick Devens said, I'm done with it, and walked off, I said, oh, that's how you win the conversation. And now I'm thinking, maybe Joe was wrong. Maybe Joe was wrong because I just forgot how theatric. I forgot how like emotional, like in touch with Rick Devens' emotions he is. When Joe said, what was you and Savannah talking about? And Rick Devens said,
huh?
Joe said, hello. Rick Devens said, huh? Oh, no. What? She was saying, is you and Joe going to the well? Joe was like, come again? No. Because Savannah said, is you and Joe going to walk to the well? Hey, you want some water, brother? Okay, like Rick, what was that, Rick Devens? But again, I like how I feel like old Rick Devens would have told him, oh, we got this alliance. We got this, you know what I mean? But I like how new Rick Devens is like, yeah, I'm going to talk about bringing Joe into this alliance. But actually, I'm going to give a little discernment. I don't really know if I want to bring him in yet. I don't know what that freeze was about, but I like the fact that he didn't feel the pressure to like capitulate to Joe and say like, this is what it was. I like the fact that, again, like as messy as it might be, Rick Devens is standing in it. And I can't be mad at that.
I felt like when we threw the glasses on, I thought we were really going the same direction, and like we sort of are, but to me, look, I get the point about,
okay.
Oh, it's not going to be that bad.
Let's just hear what you got to, because I'm with you. Let me shut up though. Let me shut up.
Well, I get the point about Joe where, he's a little bit rigid in the way that he plays, and I see why that could be hard. Now, but I thought that was a little overblown here because it was messy from Rick. Like, and I kind of agree with Joe. Like, Joe sees Rick whispering in front of him, and is like, "Oh, hey, Rick, what were you whispering about?" And then, Bryce, like you said, he hit the what? Nothing. And Joe's like, that's a little bit weird. And then Rick's like, dude, this is Survivor. Like, you can't, why are you freaking out? And Joe's like, well, you just said you lied to me about whispering right in front of my face. Like, that's weird. And Rick's like, come on, man. Like, you know what you signed up for. It's like, no, like, that was sloppy, man. Like, and also you were talking about an alliance, just be like, yo, we mess with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't like so. It was definitely. I mean, I love. This is why he's so entertaining. And to me, this is the same old Rick Devens. You were saying old and new. This is just Rick Devens.
Yeah.
If anything, it's Edge of Extinction Rick on steroids.
Yes.
But I think, like, if any of us were in Joe's shoes, we would be like, "What's up with that, Rick? Like, why'd you do that?" And then Rick be like, "Come on, man, you don't understand how this works, do you?" I'd be like, "What?"
It's Rick Devens. Listen, I'm with you, Jack. I'm with you. Devens is wrong. So I don't want nobody in the comments being like, "Oh, you being nice to cousin Ricky." No, that was messy. But what I'm saying is the way that Rick Devens is gaslighting Joe. That's like,
Yeah.
But it is Survivor-esque, right? Like it really is. It's like because, and this is why I say it has me looking at it like, whoa, maybe I'm on Rick Devens' side because he's gaslighting him so much, Jack, that the other tribe is like, oh God, it's Joe. It's Joe. Joe's doing like, because like, and that's for me, one, it's entertaining, but two, it's like, okay, I like Ricky standing in this. Like, yes, be the chaotic king. The other interesting thing to me is like, Jack, I'm with you. Okay. What has Joe done? Like, all Joe said was, bitch, don't lie to me. And like, they're making it be like, oh, we gotta play this Joe way.
Oh.
Because last time I checked, Joe, the last two times, Joe has swallowed his pride and voted with Joe.
Yeah.
And
He's
so,
like, oh, Joe doesn't want me to lie to his face? What an idiot. It's like,
We got to get him out of here.
But that's the thing. I respect Rick because Rick, in his gaslighting ways, probably to all the other people, was like, you guys would not believe what Joe just said to me. And Serene's like, I mean, that's Survivor. Like, yeah. That's where I think maybe Joe, again, in this argument, I'm on Joe's side. In the gameplay of it all, I think once you have that interaction, instead of like sitting Rick down and like explaining to him your qualms with it, you just be like, okay, either I accept their explanation and I can move on, or maybe I start to make some other plans. But if I have a problem, I'm not just gonna like, I think he's just harping on it a little bit too much and being a little bit like I think he's fully right, but still in his like delivery of it, I don't want to say it was like holier than thou, but it was like, yo, don't lie to me. And I think when you sit down a Devens type and be like, don't do that again, he's gonna be like, I'll do whatever I want to do. Yeah. How dare you say that to me? Even though Joe, it's like reasonable. That's what I think. And I thought all signs were pointing to Joe getting voted out. And then, I feel like we can kind of start moving towards like the Savannah vote out was kind of a surprise. And we didn't get a lot of like the thought process. And so I'm curious if you guys, and I don't know if we're like getting ahead of ourselves here, but I'm curious if you guys thought, like was that a good move? Was that a bad move? And like, how much did it also surprise you? Because it kind of came out of left field.
I thought Savannah they knew she was the winner. She came and she announced it. They didn't see her game. She's this petite woman who is a really good Survivor player and a challenge beast. She came to this season not knowing anyone. I thought she was dead on arrival for real. Like I was like, that's what I think about the three new winners, and Kyle's out and now Savannah's out. I just think that I didn't think that they were going to give her a chance regardless. And in this case, we saw Joe's name, we saw Aussie's name. I think these names were floated and to confuse us, but I think Savannah was like number one. And we didn't see her with who was she really with? Who was her number one?
Yeah, I thought Joe, but that kind of slipped away.
But it didn't, because Joe played Survivor. And again, Joe played the game that I should have played. If your name is being floated around and your number one name is being floated around, you're not my number one anymore. Sorry, that's the game of Survivor. So
well, I mean, it slipped away, but for good reason. Yeah,
right.
Obviously. Yeah. Joe was like, okay, got to move on.
I think Savannah actually was a casualty of like the mistake that they made last week and keeping Serene. Because again, this is why I was like, it was their biggest mistake to keep Serene. Because now all of a sudden, it is the next day or day 6, y'all still lose an immunity challenge, and somehow Serene Field's name is not brought up. This is why when they had the opportunity to get rid of Serene, they should have, because baby, Serene, mother, don't play with me, because I'm going to play your if Survivor Fields. She's clocked in, okay? The woman's clocked in. They targeted Aussie. Serene sat down and said, oh, let's talk about it. Yeah. Aussie kind of low dipsy. He don't know how to play the game, but he good at the challenges. Oh, Joe. That's all she said. So all Serene said was, oh, Joe. And Christian Yabicki was like, I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right. And then she like, huh. Savannah 49. And Emily is like, oh. What's her name again, Serene? Savannah 49. Oh, we got to get her out. Like, it's like Serene is playing in your face. And then on top of that, Serene go to Aussie. First of all, Aussie just like, I love every time somebody go to Aussie. He's like, hey, what's up? Aussie, lock in. Serene like, listen, baby cakes. They was voting, they throwing your name around. Aussie like, well, what should I do, Serene? Serene like, I just said other people's names. And then Aussie's confessional is like, Serene's a mastermind. Oh my God.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even think of that. And then the icing on the cake, Aussie was like, oh my God, Serene, like, you got me. Here's my extra vote. And this is how you know Serene don't play with me Fields. First of all, when somebody say that to you, when somebody go, oh, I'm going to pay the bill, what you do?
No, you don't have to.
I'll get it. No, I'll get it. No, I'll get it. Okay, you can pay it. Aussie said, oh, Serene, I'll pay the bill. Serene said, okay, give me another steak and 2 margaritas. Serene didn't even, she didn't even try to give it back. Serene was like, you're a good man, Oscar. Like, this level of gameplay that Serene Fields is playing right now, oh, watch out.
There's something really, I totally agree. I said it. I was like, how is her name not even being brought up after the last, like how? It's like something I noticed that is really, really impressive. And I'm sure, like, whether she like was consciously doing it or not, I feel like it was totally intentional. Was episode 1, her name's getting thrown around. She looked very defeated. Like, she kind of looked like she didn't want to be there. Like, oh my God, guys, please, like, don't vote me out. And partly I was like, damn, this, like, was Serene burnt out after like Australia versus the world? Like, is she gassed? Like, does she not really want to be here? Immediately, as soon as she has a handle on this tribe, she's like, we're back. Yeah.
What y'all doing?
Yeah, it's just like her body, like the way that she plays, like with her body language, is so. When she's a target, she will like make herself look meek and like powerless.
Jeff was like, Serene, how's it going? Jeff, it's a lot. I mean, at Tribal Council today, Serene, she was sitting with her legs open.
It's good, Jeff.
We good.
You writing the song for this season, Jeff? Oh, we had Tribal. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, it's crazy. But
yeah, it's like, but it really will have people being like, oh, you don't have to worry about Serene, but you always have to worry about Serene. And yeah, I just thought, and I kind of like the move of Aussie just kind of like bowing his head and being like, Serene, like carry me through this, and then maybe Aussie, you attach to Serene, you be a part of her game, reap the benefits of her social and strategic prowess, and then maybe at the end Aussie can win a few, and that's his best bet. Like for him to navigate through this whole thing, he needs some good ride or dies. So
say what you want about Oscar, and listen, I'm the first to say, yeah, I'm confused as to like his social game, but let's just be clear. Physically, he's a beast and he has an aura, because I definitely, I don't want to undermine the fact that Serene, I feel like a part of why they didn't even mention Serene's name is because they know she's attached to Aussie. Right. Like, and so like that is some social equity that Aussie is absolutely doing. We see Savannah and Rick approach Aussie. Right. Like, and so it's like they understand that. And I think that Serene does a great job of like kind of painting to them, you know, Aussie don't know nothing. You can tell that man we in Chicago right now, and he'll think that. And it's like it does kind of make Aussie look a little of aloof, but it also makes him more appetizing to other people. And so it's like they both are mutually beneficial to each other. But I was like, Aussie, what is you doing? Give us that vote.
Yeah, but maybe that's like, to me, it's like, okay, it's day 5. Here's an olive branch that could lock me in with you for the rest of the game. Like, I kind of get it. And if Aussie's staking his hitch, is that the term? Staking his hitch with Serene for the whole game, for the long haul, she's going to make better use of that extra vote for you guys than you probably will. So, but no, Aussie and Serene, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
For them to keep each other safe, they got to downplay each other. Like, Aussie episode 1 was like, oh, we don't really have to worry about Serene. Like, Jenna's a bigger threat. And then Serene's doing the same thing. Like, Aussie's social game, not good, whatever. Like, has to downplay it. But that's back to Wendell's.
They clocked it. The whole tribe knows that they're a duo.
Yeah. And I just think that's the big factor for me. So
that's all you got? What's sorry, Jack? That's all you got?
I was pulling out my glasses because you know what? Y'all might want to arm yourselves too. We love the queen. We love Queen Serene.
Wait.
We love Queen Serene. She's our girl. Okay.
Tread lightly.
Okay.
Wait, is that your third different pair of glasses, Brice? Sorry, Wendell. How many? Each time he's got a different pair.
Go ahead, Wendell.
The only thing I'm saying, Queen, I love you. Okay. Jared, I love you. Okay. I love the family. But the only thing I'm saying is this: Serene went and floated other names, and Savannah's in the confessional saying Serene's protecting Aussie. And like they know that she's protecting Aussie. It's not so like I just wonder how brilliant of a plan it is if it's like, yo, Savannah just won and we don't know nothing about her and she's not tied to nobody. We're voting her out. Like, that is what it is. And Serene's also moving and shaking, but also it's like, yo, this is who we want out anyway. And we see how close y'all are. I think it's an and thing. It's just like
100%.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too, is like, I think the biggest reason it's a multitude of factors that line up well for Serene and Aussie, of exactly what you said. Like, for them, Savannah just won. And I mean, you look back, the last time something like that kind of happened was like Russell Hantz, where he came back right off. He didn't win, but right off his Samoa performance to Heroes vs. Villains, nobody knew who he was. So they like gave him the time of day, and he just did the same thing and just snaked everybody. It's obviously that I don't think that's Savannah's MO, but like it could be. You don't know her. So that's a big factor. And she doesn't, like, exactly like you guys said, she doesn't have any like people really. So you might as well take out this unknown variable. I also think there's a big factor. I think Christian has sort of pointed to this, is keeping the tribe unified, because you know there's going to be swaps. You know that there's a lot of game left to play, and you don't want to go into a swap where you're coming from the smallest tribe. There's 6 of you left, and it's like 3-3. So it's okay. We're swapping into, maybe 3 tribes again, and I have 2 people in this game that I actually have worked with out of 21. Like, that's not a good. You want to have your whole group, so at least If I'm Christian and I get stuck with Serene and Aussie, we're on good terms. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's the case for any season, but definitely an all-star season, definitely one with 24 people. So it's like, yes, Serene worked a little bit of magic, but I feel like if Christian, Emily, and Rick truly wanted one of them out, they would have gone for it. The bigger question to me is like the Joe versus Savannah thing. I feel like maybe the Joe argument was a little bit overblown. Like, I'm guessing at the end of the day, they might still be on good terms with Joe. They know Joe's game. And so maybe that's why it's like, okay, Savannah, like you said, Wendell, we really don't know her. We don't know who she might have. Like, we don't know her relationship with Rizzo. We don't know all of this stuff. So maybe that's, and it's like, I don't really think Savannah did anything wrong, but she's just kind of the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
And it just is the easy vote.
I think a reason to keep Joe is seeing the tumultuous relationship he has with Rick. That's reason alone to keep me with Joe, because like it gives me options to, like, if Rick get a little too pop, I could swing over to Rick. I mean, I could swing over to Joe, and like I think they kind of like keep each other in check. But I also, did you want to answer that, Wendeezy? I do also want
to say was I heard that
who you hear from?
I heard that the conversation between Rick and Joe was way bigger than we saw. Way more explosive. That's what I heard.
Oh.
Cite your source.
But
Sharon Tharp.
Hey, Sharon.
But to that is sort of still why I thought there was a case for Joe, because look, you don't know when the swap is coming. We now know it's going to be next week. I think it's a little early. We could talk about that in a little bit. But I felt like Savannah was pretty on board with this, like, Rick, Christian, Emily coalition. Joe, obviously, a little bit less so. Like, he's got issues with Devens. It seems like
they were brought in, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. And so now voting out Savannah, to me, I wouldn't necessarily anticipate a swap at 21. I think, okay, maybe it's at 18 or whatever, 20. That's where I think a little bit of, like, if you are Rick, Christian, and Emily, who sort of control this tribe, and you do go to another tribal with this tribe, and there's 6 people, there's a very real possibility that Joe goes over with Serene and Aussie, and they don't know it, but obviously there's a chance that Aussie and Serene have something, and they have an idol and an extra vote. I would be very worried that, Serene and Aussie are now, like, Joe felt like less of a solid piece in their group than Savannah did. And so I'd be worried if they went back to tribal, which they're not going to, because we know there's a swap, so whatever. But I totally see Aussie and Serene going to Joe, be like, hey, Joe, we have an extra vote. You want to come? We're not going to argue. We value your integrity, Joe. You want to come over with us? We got an extra vote. We can take out Rick. And I think there's a very real possibility. I almost thought that was going to happen this episode, where they're going to pull in Savannah and Joe and
take out Rick.
Something like that. I was surprised that there was no momentum on that, but I feel like Aussie and Serene maybe also feeling the same way of, like, let's keep some unity here for moving forward. But to me, for that main coalition, that's sort of, and maybe they probably did deliberate. They obviously debated voting for Joe, but also, look, if you vote for Joe, maybe Savannah's a better piece, but maybe you're also more likely to go back to tribal. And that's not to say Savannah's not strong in these challenges, but I think in these big group physical challenges where you're pushing people up walls and stuff, Joe is a real asset for that.
And again, in my opinion, Joe has the most to benefit from a tribe swap, because get Joe with a Kobe and a Q, get Joe with a Jonathan and a coach. Yeah. It's a done deal. And so I almost do feel like Joe might be at the bottom right now, but I have a sneaking suspicion Joe might be able to get the last laugh, because again, like I said, we see this faction in multiple tribes, and Joe is leaning towards one side that we see a lot of the other people. And so
that's a really good point, Brice. I'm curious. Like, you bringing up something I think that's very, like, not talked about a lot, and I want to throw it out to you guys to get your thoughts. But if you're in a starting tribe, I guess especially in a returning season, but really any season, and it's like, hey, we're with a Joe, and maybe Joe isn't really locked in with any of us, but I could just tell that he's gonna get along well with a Colby and with a Jonathan and a coach. How much is that, like, the potential of those future relationships? How much should you factor that in like because to me it's like, okay, Savannah, we don't know her, she doesn't really know anybody, but maybe we could be her group, like maybe we could be her people. But it's just like, I just know Joe's gonna hit it off with those guys. He's not gonna ride with us. Should that be a serious consideration for them at this point in the game, or is it just like too early? You got to focus on what's right in front of you.
That's such an assumption. I know that someone's going to hit it off with some people. I think the stronger assumption is I know that these people were on the same season together. So like my assumption would be, all right, these people were on the same season together. And like a Joe, Kyle, Camilla, I would think that they'd link up. But with this, like after seeing how Joe even talks about being so embarrassed by them,
yeah,
like, man, Joe would probably try to send them home as soon as possible. But my assumption would be more so, all right, the people that played together or had pre-existing relationships, more so than I think Joe. I really, Brice, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think Joe will click up with Coach
Colby
John,
and
those Colby. Yeah, I think that, but like, I think I would be more scared of like the pre-existing relationships.
Really? I mean, of course the pre-existing, but to me, Joe especially was tricky with the Kyle and Camilla. Obviously, Kyle's not here, so I wouldn't be that worried about him with Camilla. But I get what you mean. It's like you don't necessarily know how two people are going to click.
But you can know. And again, I think my perspective is maybe a little different from y'all, just being like a gay black man, and like I feel like my intuition about like how I live my life and like how I've been treated, that sometimes like I would be worried about people clicking up like that. That would be a real worry of mine.
Agreed.
And so it's like I 1,000% get what you're saying, Wendell, but I also think like for me, I would be like, oh no, like I would want to lock Joe in, or I would want to, because it's like, yeah, I would be scared of how we are treating him or how he feels a part of this group, because if he get with them, I'm just the number game. I'm just a number to him. Like he could get rid of me.
Yeah. Now I'm with you in that. If they're treating him bad, he's for sure. Like Aubrey, we think she's gonna jump ship because she's not rocking with them. But in this case, we're like, we know there are certain people that we know Joe is just gonna get down. Like he would be friends with them in real life. I hear what you're saying.
And even with Joe, right? The one thing that my one critique of Joe, right? Like I think you said, Jack, where he's like, I'm scorned of Kyle and Camilla. They did me dirty. But yet you're going to Rick Devens and saying, just don't lie to me. Right? Where it's like, Joe, assume if you got PTSD, assume everybody is lying to you. Like you're still going into it with Scout's honor. Hey, Scout's honor. So that's like interesting, where it's like Joe recognizes that, like, hey, I've been burnt before, but he also is like still holding people accountable to like the Scout's honor. That Scout's honor, Joe.
It's kind of like, instead of he knows it, and it's interesting with him because obviously 49 had just filmed before this, but 48 had just aired before this, and this feels like something where Joe, I'm sure, watching the season back right before, probably realized the extent of things. So it probably wasn't that fresh coming off the island. It was probably more fresh watching Kyle sort of toy with him.
Oh yeah.
So
press, they gave him a wedgie on national TV or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But Brice is a good point. It's like I think he knows where he went wrong, but instead of being like, how do I adapt and like be proactive, it's like, I just have to. He's like, I'm going to be hyper vigilant about people lying to me, instead of like embracing that component a little bit.
Yeah, instead of understanding that's the nature of the beast. So, all right, let's figure out how to dip and dodge amongst that. No, I'm gonna just try to harness it more, or like
Let's be real, Joe. There are a lot better liars on this beach than Rick Devens. So you better buckle up, brother, because if Rick Devens is your barometer, You're in trouble.
Joe's gonna go over to Serene and be like, I just can't believe this guy's lying in Survivor. And Serene's like, I know.
Can't believe it either.
Can't believe it either.
Rick Devens. Another thing I do want to talk about real quick though, is Aubrey, right? I called Wendell last night after I rewatched the episode. I said, now wait a minute. Let me go on a conspiracy theory here. Aubrey, my girl. But it was just something about Aubrey's montage of like her just kind of being effed around for the 3 times, then them going after Aubrey's bag. Here was another thing that kind of pissed me off. I really feel like editing editing tricked us. For Aubrey to be given an idol by Christian, but earlier in the episode, they suspect she's being weird with her bag. Like, it's very clear that when Aubrey got that idol, Genevieve clocked it. And like, for whatever reason, but again, that's just me of the edit, because I'm like, that's just so weird. But what was so alarming to me was seeing, and I don't think I peeped it the first episode, but after Kyle left, seeing that Aubrey she on that island by herself. Like, no one, it doesn't appear to be working. They pulled in Rizzo before they pulled in Aubrey. And so again, now you got people like Joe, now you got people like Aubrey. And again, I feel like Joe or Aubrey would speak the same language. So it's like, it's just interesting, these people that are kind of on their island of their own. I'm so excited to see the tribe swap. But again, just seeing Aubrey's arc of like how she is viewing this game, then Christian bestowing it to her. Like, again, I love the Billy Irish idol. And why I love Genevieve so much, because I'm a little slow. If I found the Billy Irish idol and the Billy Irish idol, what's that? Billy Idol. What's her name? What's her name?
What did you say?
Billie Eilish.
Oh, Billie Eilish.
It's like Irish with an accent.
Right, Eilish. This is how sometimes when I just like, sometimes I'm just not built for Survivor. Because if I was Genevieve and I found the Billie Eilish idol, first of all, I would just be worried about who I'm giving it to, and that's all I would be thinking about. I'll be like, oh, I can't wait till I can meet up with Chad. Oh, I would not be out here thinking like, well, if I got a Billie Irish, there could be another one bequeathed to me. Like, again, like, I just have a lot going on in my mind, and I think about a million things. And so it's just like, that's just something that I just wouldn't have even added to like my thought process. So the fact that like Genevieve is already like, hey, yo, clock her. I just think it's very fetch. Very like, again, it seems simple, but for me, like, I recognize like Genevieve is a killer. Now, I do also want to talk about one of the biggest moves that potentially was made with Rick Devens and Christian Hubicki coming up with leaving or getting the idol. And like, this is, I think it's great. I think it's brilliant, but I need for y'all to clarify. They wanted to give the idol, give it to Rick so that Rick could make a big move and grab something at Tribal so that they can have it.
So then, go ahead.
Please, because I was just saying, because then Christian Hubicki fell and then Rick Devens left it. And so now
it's left. Now it's left.
So what the point is, they are planting the idol's not in it. They're planting the packaging at Tribal. So I believe so that if they're ever in danger and they need to like bluff, they can grab it and be like, I'm good. And it looks like they found an idol, because it's just like having a fake idol, but instead of like bluffing a fake, I think the idea is like, if I find this at Tribal, it's gonna seem so much more like authentic. Of like, no way they planted that there the second Tribal council, like that would be too crazy. So now it's like if they could be at post swap or post merge, and they might be in trouble, and they'll be like, you know what, I'm hearing my name a lot. I got a clue for this. I found it, and then it's like, oh, that's gonna scramble everybody up.
Okay.
And Christian's fell to be a distraction. Yeah.
Well,
And Christian actually 5D chess shat himself to give the perception that, hey, I'm a goofy guy. I might fall down at tribal. I might poop my pants.
that's what did it. Okay.
He should have combined it all at once.
He should have did all at once. Now, okay. That's kind of what I thought it was, but I thought he would get it at this tribal. But I do feel like that seems a bit too far-fetched in the sense that, like, because now you risk if we swap, someone else could see it. Like, I feel like there's
if someone else sees it, it's a good point. But if someone else sees it, they're not actually the idol's not in it. So
right.
Also, but I will say that log that he put it behind, very conveniently placed at Tribal Council. I feel like maybe they heard they wanted to do that, and they were like, let's give him something to put it behind or something. I don't know.
I thought that they did have a fake in it, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but I think it's something fun.
I think it will redeem Adam Klein, no doubt. Like it will redeem, and like, yeah, it is a great move. But again, I just was confused as to, like, was he supposed to get it now? But okay, leaving.
But that's what I love about Rick is, like, he'll make plans that sometimes might be too crazy and they might not work, but it's like he's coming up with ideas people never even thought about. You know what I mean? To circle back to that boomerang idol, we talked about it last week with Genevieve. Do we feel like Christian giving it to Aubrey, was that the right person to give it to?
I think so. And the only reason I say that is I love that Christian used it as an olive branch, right? Like he took the model of, let me give this to somebody that will probably use it to sacrifice themselves and we can connect, as opposed to like Genevieve is someone that was like, let me try to give it to somebody that will probably go home with it and I get it back. So I think, I mean, listen, he could have gave it to Tiffany. He could have gave it to Shart. Like he could have gave it to a host of people. Aubrey works, but I just like, again, seeing his thought process of like not necessary. And it's so innate, in my opinion. Like when Genevieve read it, it wasn't really a question of like, let me extend the olive branch. Like she was like, let me use this to reverse engineer it. And like with Christian, it was like more so. So for me, that was more interesting.
Yeah, I feel like the way we sort of like defined it ultimately last week of, I felt like give it to the person who you want to extend that olive branch, but also might need it, because if they need it, they'll either save themselves and, you know, throw their tribe dynamics for a loop, or if they need it and they don't use it, well, then you get it back. And I felt like, you know, Christian and Aubrey, I feel like there's a direct potential there of a good relationship. And Christian obviously doesn't really know the dynamics, but correctly kind of diagnosed that Aubrey probably is the person here that needs it on Vatu. So kind of nailed it in both check boxes of that checklist for who to give it to. So shout out to Christian Hubicki.
Yeah, it's my only thing is that he's just burning a little too hot, and it's only episode 2. That's me as a seasoned Survivor viewer. That's my only thing.
Yeah, but true. But I agree, and I worry. I mean, that's what kind of bit him and David versus Goliath. He's such like literally such like a bright presence that it's impossible to overlook him. But I will say a lot of the ways in which he was burning hot this episode were to the viewers, but not necessarily like Serene is not necessarily going to be like, oh, Christian was going way too hard this episode. Right. They don't know he found the idol. They don't know about planting the idol at tribal. So these are things that if you can keep subtly doing stuff like this, especially working in lockstep with a Rick and Emily, with people that I think really ride for him, then I'm optimistic still.
And the last thing I want to talk about before we close out episode 2 is that in that same, again, I watch Survivor. Yeah, we shouldn't watch for the edit, but sometimes we have to, right? And so for me, having episode 2 down and we seeing some people dominate like the edit in the screen, and I'm just like, oh, it's a little much early. It has me now looking at the people that we haven't seen that much of. And so like, just has me making a little list. And it's like, okay, I'm looking out for Charlie. looking out for Chrissy, looking out for Tiffany, like kind of sort of looking out for Jonathan. Like, so it's like for me, it's like
Yeah.
I love to just kind of like also circle back to some of the people that aren't getting a huge edit, because it's like, okay, you gonna burn later on or what's happening? So just kind of
especially that tribe, that blue tribe specifically, or that teal, whatever color, like they've gotten the least amount of content. I would say they haven't lost any members. We haven't seen a lot of Tiffany, Camilla, Chrissy, Charlie.
Yes.
But that's kind of a byproduct of not going to tribal early. But that's what I mean. Even a few seasons ago, we saw with Genevieve. We didn't see much Genevieve the first like 3 or 4 episodes of 47, and then boom, she's an all-star. So
I'm saying
with these all-star seasons, especially, you don't know who might. We know they all kind of got it in them, so you don't know who's going to emerge as that main character. What I will ask to sort of close this out, we see in the next week on there's a swap coming at 21, presumably a swap to 21, presumably a swap of to 3 tribes of 7. What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about a swap this early?
We sold it on Winners at War. I love it. Like, switch them up. Like rotate these rotate them. This ain't a newbie season. I want to see what somebody's working with. I want to see these Joes get out of these situations. I want to see like a Serene now sweat. I want to see it. Historically, I'm not with it, but with this, oh, I need to see Rick.
When was it during Winners at War, Wendell? Was that 15 or 16?
Did you make a swap?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you?
What's the swap? I made a swap. I swapped out to Ponderosa.
He was on a new tribe with Garrett, Jatia, David, Lindsay, and Cliff.
Wow. We was the final 5.
Yeah, we swapped, and that's when.
That's when you dapped up Jeremy. Yeah,
so 3 tribes of 5, right?
Is that when you dapped up Jeremy at that swap?
No, at the merge. How about that? You know what that is? That's when all the players from the tribes come to one island at the same time, and now they're competing in a more individual game as opposed to a tribe-based game. That's what the merge is. I made 2 of those.
Well, if your game started on the plane, then I see why.
The merge is just when the airplane hits the tarmac. It has to weave in between the other planes. It's called merging.
But I want to see with cousin Ricky with this type of energy. I want to see Rick and Q. I want to see Rick and Jonathan. I need to see Rick Devens move and shake.
That's why I'm torn about the swap this early. And I'm expecting probably there will be another swap at some point. And I love to see, all of these amazing players kind of have as many different possible dynamics as possible with each other, like you just said. I do feel like it's a little bit early of just now they couldn't pre-plan this. Obviously, they couldn't plan out the Kyle going out, so there probably was supposed to be 3 tribals. But I'm just a little disappointed. It's like we never get to see the other 2 tribes ever go to tribal. You never really get like to see how things would shake out and come to fruition. So it's like all those dynamics that have been building, at least in terms of like this early pre-merge phase, aren't really going to pay off. But maybe it's laying the groundwork for more connections and payoffs post swap. And I think it's a little bit early. I probably would have been more of a fan of doing it at like 20 or 18, but I'm still excited. That's the thing about the season. I'm loving this season so far. I don't feel like either of the tribals have been particularly great tribals, but because the characters are so great, it's just been really fun. Like And
also this season, I have given myself permission to inevitably, if a Serene goes home, if a Charlie goes home, I've given myself permission to like be upset, but be upset in the best possible outcome, because it's 50 and it has gotten my attention. That's like, I almost want that emotion. Like I want to be like, oh, where normally I'm like, what is y'all doing? And so my hype level is just really hype, which is something I didn't expect from 50.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a level of like, even if you feel a little heartbroken after Tribal, like that's still good TV. I mean, you hope that it works out in a way. You don't want to be heartbroken the first 5 and then have nobody to root for. But I totally agree with you. If and when Serene goes home, like that's going to be a big moment. I said if and when. If and when.
But you don't even you could bring up somebody else's name.
If and when some of the other legends on this season go, if and when Rizzo goes home.
Hey.
Who do you want me to bring up, Brice?
You can bring up Colby.
If and when Colby goes home.
Okay. It'd be sad. We would miss him. But also, my last thing. Then I'm done.
Yeah, please.
Then I'm done. Because I'm starting. Hold on.
I'm
starting. Jack, shut up.
Oh, I love it.
I'm starting to question. What's Colby's last name?
Donaldson.
I'm starting to question Colby Donaldson. Okay? Because, listen here, Colby. You couldn't get up the wall. We had to sacrifice Kyle. We see you at we see you winded in the immunity challenge. Now all of a sudden you could carry a 30-pound, 8-foot snake through the tunnel and just now. I know what it's like, Colby, when you get that energy with a big old snake. But listen, where has that been, Colby? I'm starting to believe Colby is playing with us. Because where did that come from?
Well, some days he's working so hard around camp. It's
because did y'all not see him? Just I said let me rewind. Let me rewind this, Colby. Okay. Let me jot some notes because I don't normally tackle it like that. But you're showing me something.
Brice is like, I won't be too mad when Colby goes home because he'll be available.
But I just was curious. I said he must have ate a Snickers or something because I said, okay, that dog is still in there.
Yeah. Do you feel like he was bad in the other? I mean, outside of him with the Kyle thing.
I felt like in the reward challenge, he was like.
Well, was that the one with the snake or that was the one in the water?
That's the one in the water.
Okay.
So I felt like that. I felt like he didn't like. I just felt like I don't know. I just felt like in his confessionals and all the stuff we had just been seeing like, oh, my name is Colby. I've been playing.
No, he's been good he's been making fun of Rizzo.
Rizzo is my granny. I don't know. I just felt like
he turned it off for this challenge.
I mean, I turned it off for big old snake. Dude.
I mean, he's been better this season than Heroes vs. Villains. Heroes vs. Villains, he was a little geriatric, but I think he's back now.
He's back.
I think he's been good.
Okay. And we can end it on.
Oh boy.
It's something regarding me. Go.
I know it's not. No, it's not. Because listen. Serene Fields. Show me that dive again. Because we might need to talk to Kevin. Kevin 48, have you been teaching Serena dive? I said, now Serene. But listen, we love our legend. Okay, y'all. It's been Survivor News Cover episode 2. The Baby Boys will be back next week. Brice and Wynn are on the road to 50. We're in Oklahoma City. Aussie, you better go watch with him in Chicago, but you might not be able to because the way Chicago's almost sold out. So if you want to go see Aussie in Chicago, you better go now. Listen, the Baby Boys will be back. Jack, Wendeezy, and Brice.
Hey, and real quick, next week I'll be at RHAP Live in LA.
Oh.
Me and Robert have mended the bridges. So I just want to say, if there's any posse members in LA at that, come say what's up.
Posse,
Like Aussie, come say what's up.
Posse members, if you see Jack, I need for y'all to tag me. Take a photo and tag me. I want to see it. Because God knows Jack ain't going to send me his outfit that he going to wear like he used to do. So I need to see what my baby boy looking at. But listen, we're out. Be safe. We love y'all. Be well. Be kind to each other. And listen, it's okay if you shart in the dark. It don't really happen. Bye.
Get out. Get me off of this. Take.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.